Hey guys, welcome to Boxing Squared for boxing news and views from around the internet. Weekend preview, 3 different fights that I want to cover. Lucas Browne, Jarrell Miller is the one that, weirdly, I'm looking forward to the most. It's got a little bit of a circus element, bit of an odd fight made out of nowhere, no real demand for it, but nonetheless, it's intriguing. On one side, you've got Lucas Browne, 43 years old, who looked like he was well on the decline, and he sort of reinvigorated his career. He was getting beaten up by Whainga Upilu, comes back to stop him later in that fight, and then he starches Junior Fa in a round on the Devin Haney-Kambosos card that was the first time around. So now you've got him against Jarrell Miller, who's making his way back from yet another drug ban. So he's had a few comeback fights, but Browne is the name that's got the most recognition so far on the comeback. And Miller, if he's clean, what's he really going to be like against a guy who could punch? What's Miller going to be like with his volume? Because it's a question. Will he still be able to maintain his work rate? Because that was one of his biggest assets when he was sort of pummeling through guys 3 or 4 years ago. And as you can see here, you've got Browne and Miller, a bit of a face-off. It looks like Miller could use some support with those double Ds there. A couple of different shots here. Actually, I did think, because Lucas Browne definitely is taller than Jarrell Miller, 6'5", and Miller's 6'3", 6'4". I did wonder if he had some lifts or something like that. Does look like he's sort of trying to get up there. But different photos, different angles, it sort of does look different in different photos. But I think Miller might have a little bit of support in those shoes there. Another one here, this is the one that's used in the press release. A little hard to tell. Browne. He says that they weighed in behind closed doors with a mock weigh-up to follow. So we'll listen to his clip, and he talks about Miller's weight. 151 kgs, or 332 pounds. Have a listen.
What's up, boys and girls? Just like Chechnya, when we were over in Chechnya, we had a official weigh-in at the morning, so at 10 a.m. we had an official weigh-in just here. No photos, no videos, anything like that. And then later on, we'll have a mock weigh-in where there'll be all the videos and pictures and everything will be allowed. So that'll be at the Agenda Arena venue. This one was just in a very quiet setting. I do believe it's obviously because of the Muslim Islam aspect with the ladies, etc. So I understand that. I get that. So we'll do a mock one later on. No one will be in their underwear, all that sort of stuff. We'll just have some shorts on and stuff. So I'll do that later. But I was 125.8. Now I've come in about 10 kilos heavier, under the assumption that he'll be about 130, etc. Unfortunately, he weighed in at 151 kilos. 151 kilos. So I was 125.8. Still very fit, just a little bit heavier than what I would normally be, just for that aspect of having that extra weight. But he came in at 151, 151 kilos. Big boy. So more photos, or the actual photos, all the shit later on tonight. So my apologies, there's no photos of the one we just did, but 125 versus 151, more photos to come.
So Jarrell Miller, meanwhile, he's posted to his social media, it's going down the Saturday, March 18. I caught a mean cramp trying to beef my chest up. It's all good still. Going to knock his ass out Saturday night. Tune in, #DoBuy. And I am looking forward to this fight. It is going to be on ProBox TV in the United States and Australia. You can only get it on ProBox if you have the full year subscription, which I think is $18. I think if you do have the subscription, you should be able to get it through if you got a VPN as well. Not sure where else it would be shown, because even before this ProBox announcement, I wasn't sure what the arrangements were. I was hunting around, couldn't see anything. But I'll try my luck with the VPN because I do have a ProBox subscription. But this is an interesting fight. Miller, 151 kgs or 332.8 pounds. You've got Lucas Browne, 125.8 kgs, which is 277 pounds. This one's not going the distance, and if it goes past 6 rounds, someone is going to be falling to the deck from exhaustion, because I think these guys are going to be letting their hands go. Browne has got power in both hands. He is a puncher, but Miller has demonstrated a good chin in the past, and generally he's ground guys down. He's taken some of their best work as he sort of pushes forward, puts them under pressure, and then ultimately starts to land his work and grind them down and sort of eviscerate them through his activity. If he's clean, what's that going to look like? Will it be the same? Or were the extra chemicals he was putting in his system giving him that benefit, and we will not see that? So far, he hasn't, in his comeback fights, demonstrated too much of it, but at the same time, it's also looked like he was boxing for the rounds. So we don't really know what version of Miller we've got, and as we know, Lucas Browne, he is a little bit chinny, but he can punch. And, 43 years old, he's certainly at the tail end of his career, but it's kind of one of those what if anything can happen type fights. Because if Browne lands something, Miller could go down. It's a possibility. We have no idea where Miller's really at. Plus, all the inactivity is not good for a fighter who hasn't had a professional fight. I mean, a proper, serious, high-level fight for some years. I mean, he got rounds against some guys, and Bracamonte being one of them, but it didn't really feel that competitive. But with Lucas Browne, while he might get knocked out, he certainly will probably let his hands go as well. So, I mean, this could end in the first round. It could go some rounds and maybe both guys get hurt. I'm looking forward to it. I don't know who's going to win. I would favour Miller just because he's younger, fresher, but Browne can punch. So, yeah, I'm going to pick Miller by, 7th round stoppage of Lucas Browne, something like that. Maybe he'll just sort of wear him down, but it wouldn't surprise me if this ends early as well. I mean, it's one of these kind of random circus-type element fights, so looking forward to it. Next one. Well, actually, here we go to the press release. And I won't really go through this because there's 2 press releases from Browne and Miller. If you want, do sort of stop the video to see what they're saying. So Lucas Browne says of Jarrell Miller, he's just a bully. He comes forward. What else we got here? If I win over Miller, it means I'm still here. There were talks about me fighting Daniel Dubois for the WBA regular, which is great, but the British Boxing Board of Control rejected me because I was too old. This was after the Farr fight, so I'm thinking, okay, judge me off the Gallen loss, fair enough, but I've since had 2 good wins over quality guys. And actually, that's one other thing I should note. This is for WBA rankings as well. Both these guys are ranked in the WBA top 15, so one of them is going to climb higher as a result. But Lucas Browne, he does sort of, talk about the length of his career coming to an end and sort of being at the tail end of it. And if he loses, he says, I'll just get another quick fight and get back on the board. If I do start losing regularly, I'll give up. I'm 43, I know this, I'm not stupid. I still want all my faculties in place and everything else. I know I'm on the back end of it. I know this, but I still want to go out with a bang. And Big Pharmacy. So going here to his press release where it's got some of these comments and actually pretty detailed, so don't really want to get into it too much, but if there's anything that you see that you want to stop on, just press pause. But he says on his continued weight loss, for my last fight I came in at 340, I'm down to 325. Well, we know that's not true. 332 on the scale. I look a lot leaner than 325. No, he does not. He looks all of that 332. And question there, what's he done with his 4 years away? Probably think about his stupidity from failing multiple drug tests on separate occasions. He talks about Joshua. He talks about Fury Usyk, his goals for the future. I want to punch Anthony Joshua in the face. Oh yeah, blah blah. You're not getting that fight. Sparring with Tyson Fury, I knew where I still stand in this game. Tyson said he dropped me 7 times. That's BS. More like the other way around. I clocked him with some. And then he talks about Deontay Wilder. So he got his licks away on some of the main guys in the division. Clearly, still hanging for that big payday. But we'll see what he's got left. So moving to the other sort of main heavyweight fight that's got a little bit of attention, Solomon Dacres versus Rob ISMAY. So ISMAY, former cruiserweight, he had a big period of inactivity, years where he didn't fight. He was at cruiserweight, he's come back at heavyweight more recently, fighting for the English title versus Solomon Dacres. So this is the sort of up-and-coming prospect against a sort of, somewhat unproven older fighter who's still got something to prove. I would say Matchroom have looked at the matchmaking here, and it's probably good matchmaking to get rounds and experience for Solomon Dacres, and it's a bit of a step up from where he's been fighting effectively. In terms of some of the quotes, he was just giving it the usual at the workout. You're going to get knocked out. You're going to get put to sleep, blah, blah, blah. He's giving it the large one now, but it's all just bravado. You can expect a great performance from me on Saturday, and so this is Solomon Dacres speaking. I thrive under these conditions. I train exceptionally hard all of the time. I've been sparring top guys like Tyson Fury. I've been in his camp. I like to get away and spar so I'm comfortable when I come to fight night. I go in a lot of people's training camps to spar top guys like Fury, Joe Joyce. It's another day at the office for me, and I'm really just looking forward to putting on a great performance. So we don't really need to sort of say too much there, but Solomon Dacres, a little bit down on the power side of things, but he's long, he's tall, he's skilled, and when people look at some of his performances versus other guys who fought similar opposition, Sokolowski, for example, he cruised against Sokolowski. But he doesn't seem to quite have that pop that he may need at the next level, but I think he should have ISMAY's number here. And the other fight of the weekend, which will be on Fight TV, you've got Alexis Barrierre. He is the Canadian heavyweight, so French-speaking. He is facing Zamig, Atakishiyev. And I really haven't seen too much of the opponent, but I'm really interested in Alexis Barrierre because he's a talented fighter, absolutely waxed Adam Braidwood in his last fight. And I think he is going to be one of these guys that comes up with very little buzz and fanfare due to where he's fighting, but he will be a decent addition once he sort of steps up to that next level. Judging by, the skills, he's a really talented southpaw. He is going to give some guys some trouble. So what do you make of it all? Drop a comment loud and often, hit like, hit subscribe, follow me on Twitter, boxing_squared. I'm out.